what's up YouTube? I hope everybody's having a great day. Today's video I'm going to cover 5 things you got to do to not be a slumlord. That's right, you can be a landlord or you can be a slumlord. And let me tell you, in our little town, we got a lot of slumlords. So I'm going to share some tips I got for you to avoid being one. And hopefully you guys find this useful. If you do, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing you got to do to not be a slumlord is buy houses in very crappy neighborhoods. Let me tell you, there's some shady areas in pretty much every town. Even if you buy a nice little place, if it's in a bad neighborhood, chances are you're either going to get bad tenants or you're going to have very unhappy tenants because you didn't tell them how bad the neighborhood is. So avoid buying in very crappy neighborhoods, and that will save you a lot of headaches. As you get better, you'll realize that the savings that you think you're going to get because you're going to get a cheap property in one of these neighborhoods, it's not worth it. Tens of thousands of dollars you think you're going to save, you're going to give yourself a lot of headaches, and it's not worth it. Tip number 2, renovate the property before you rent it out. Don't just go and buy something and then the next day list it for rent. Old things in it, broken things, smelly things, old chipping paint, a worn out carpet. Make this a nice place that you would like to live in yourself. Be proud of your own work. Invest some money into it. You know, when you're buying a place, make sure you do some math and see how much money you got to spend to make some renovations. As I learned through my journey of investing in real estate, it's better to do more than to do less, because what's going to happen is if you're going to do bare minimum in the beginning, as time goes by, things are going to break. You're going to have a lot of headaches. Everybody hates those phone calls on a holiday or on a weekend or while you're out on vacation because things are breaking. And also, by investing in the property, you're going to get the best tenants too, because the best tenants are looking for the best place they can get. So I recommend when you buy a place, be within your means, but at bare minimum, put new paint on all the walls. Make sure everything's functioning. Make sure the carpets are clean. Make it a presentable place that, like, you would want to flip it, basically. You want to get maximum money for it, so it's good to invest. Alright, so the third thing, you want to check in regularly. Set up a plan where you're going to show up, let's say it's every 3 months, every 6 months. You want to make sure that you're around. You want to check on things. A lot of times, tenants don't report broken things or they don't see things. If you have a small little water leak somewhere, it can cause a lot of damage. Next thing you know, you got a ceiling that's caving in, or you got a toilet that's fallen from 2nd floor into the 1st floor. You want to check the gutters, you know, they're not clogged up. You want to make sure that they're taking care of the place. If they're responsible for doing yard work, the grass is mowed, you know, don't be nosy. Do it from a point of view that you are there to serve your customer. If you show up, they'll point out some things that might be broken. A lot of these slumlords, they get somebody in, as long as they're getting their paycheck once a month, they don't ever show up. So that helps with keeping your property maintained, and it's a good way to keep an eye on what's going on. Number 4, have good communication. This is a big one, and this doesn't cost you anything. This is one of the most important things you can do, is have good communication with your tenants. Listen, when you are a landlord, you are a professional. You're not renting to your children, you're renting to adults. And that means treating them with respect, even if they might irritate you or they're not doing what you're asking them to do, like pay rent. But you want to make sure you always remain professional Your job is to be a good property manager, to make sure that the property is in good condition, and to make sure that payments are made on time so that you can make your own payments and you can make money. You want to make sure that you are communicating that message in a professional manner. The other thing is being responsive to tenants' requests. Now, there are certain degrees of tenants. Some tenants don't bother you about anything, even though they might have something major going on. Other tenants might bug you for every little thing, and you got to set boundaries. And you also got to set expectations for your tenants to make you aware of things that are going on in your property. In this day and age, we use a lot of text messaging, but you don't want to text message your tenants like they're your girlfriend. You want to make sure you're not texting them all day long. If it requires more than 2 texts, schedule a phone call. You are in a business to be efficient and to make money. You're not in a business to chit chat all day long with them. Make sure they have those understandings as well. As far as communications, make sure that they understand that if going to be late rent, that they make you aware of it ahead of time. That's the number 4. Okay, so number 5, and that is invest in your property. Now, once you get tenants in, you want to make sure that you are continuing to invest into your property. Now, you could be at a point where, let's say it's a brand new property and doesn't need anything, or let's say you've just did 100% of everything that needed to be done, and that's great. But speaking from my own experience, oftentimes there are certain things that I know that needs to be done further down the line, and not postpone those things. For example, if you buy a property and you do everything inside, but that the roof that's on the house, it's coming up on its 30-year mark, well, you want to invest in that. Also, you want to get feedback from the tenants. What things in reason would make their lives better? And I mean with reason is, of course everybody wants an in-ground pool and a jacuzzi. But in reason, let's say, for example, what I've done personally is I've built a deck for some of my tenants. In the backyard, there was nothing. It was just a lawn, and they had some furniture. They asked if it would be possible to have a deck. And I think that's a reasonable request. We worked out a deal where sign a lease for another year, and their lease was coming up. Then I will agree to invest into a deck. Other things that come to mind, which I'm currently doing, for example, is installing central air conditioning. One of the houses I have, when we purchased it, didn't have any central air conditioning, and but I made plans to get that installed before the summer, so that's actually going to be done this week. So those are some of ideas that come to my mind of ways you can improve and continue to improve what you have. That way you're bringing value to your tenants. The tenants see that you are investing into the place that they're living, and this is not just a dump. And at the same time, you are improving the value of the property, which is obviously making you money. So I hope you like those 5 things to do to not be a slumlord. If you guys have any other things you wanted to add, or if you don't agree with some of those things, put them in the comments below. I sure want to hear what you guys think. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.